So I will also say that it is indeed an honor to be named a fellow in Division 17. This has been my home, my APA home, since a graduate student at the University of Tennessee. It's also a very special honor to be on the podium with all of my esteemed colleagues. Dr. Robbie Stewart, who has been along this journey with me also since graduate school, and also colleagues who I've watched grow and mature from students to now wonderful colleagues, Sharon Horn and Kevin Copley. In the last decade or so, much of my work has focused on the Preparing Future Faculty program at the University of Georgia. This was a program that started in 2000 with funding from APA that was received through a competitive grant process. PFF, and there was a national movement, was designed to provide activities for students interested in pursuing academic careers, and to do this in a way that was intentional and systematic. This was especially relevant and important to me because for me, an academic position was never something that I wanted to pursue or thought that I would pursue. So I was very interested in how students kind of decide about academic careers and really aware of the underrepresentation of women and faculty of color in the academy. So this became a very, very meaningful endeavor for me. And based on information from students who have participated in the PFF program, the program really has made a difference in their lives. So the title of my talk is on Pieces of the Puzzle: Difference, Significance, and Passion. So the first dimension, difference, was able to see and continue to see in my work with the PFF program. So students who graduate or who complete the PFF series talk about the insights that they gained while they were in the program. Many of them have decided to pursue academic careers. They talk about when they do assume their faculty positions, that they do so with more knowledge and confidence that they can be successful. They also talk about specific lessons that they learned in the program. So for me, it is very, very heartwarming to know that in some way I have made a difference in someone's life. That really is heartwarming. I also know that the PFF program has also made a difference in my own life. That in many ways I think about an academic position and an academic career very differently than I did when I started. And I am much more aware of how I carry out my academic activities. So there's the difference piece. The PFF program has also been recognized as making a significant contribution to psychology. In 2010, I was the recipient of the APA Distinguished Contributions to Education and Training in Psychology Award based on the PFF program. I was at that time and continue to be very humbled by that recognition. So the second dimension of my title of the talk, significance. And often question myself, what do I do as a psychologist and as a person to make a difference and to have an impact on people and systems, and recognize that all of us, probably do that in ways we never imagined. One lesson that I learned is the importance of being a role model, and how it's not always what you say that necessarily makes a difference or is significant, but oftentimes it's more what you do, your actions, and how other people perceive those actions. So this is a lesson that has been not only reinforced for me in my work as a faculty member, but also on a personal level. This year, 2012, has resulted in a significant change in my life. My father died at the end of March, about 4 months ago, after a very difficult battle with pneumonia. And so my last dimension, passion, really is a lesson that I learned from him, both in life and in his death. It was, actually, I was in awe during his homegoing ceremony and funeral, because everyone who talked about him and who knew him talked about his passion, how his passion for his work, for his family, his passion for life, and his passion for God were evident, oftentimes without saying a word. That the way he carried himself, the way he showed his enthusiasm for what he did and what he believed in was a tribute to him, but also was a way people wanted to live their lives. In fact, he was known throughout several circles as Mr. Enthusiasm. So everything that he did with drive and energy that was easily recognizable, that was unsurpassed, and that was infectious. So when I think about my dad's life and how he lived it, I recognize that his zest for living and his enthusiasm for life so positively affected me that he's not only remembered for the difference he made in the lives of others and his significant contributions, but for his passion about his work and his life. And so I try, and I think didn't realize I was doing that, but he always served as a model for me in that passion. And I still strive to have that kind of passion in my work and in my relationships. When I think about other mentors and role models in my life, so my mother, the late Naomi Mira, Kathy Davis, Rosie Bingham, Melba Vasquez, George Gazda, I realized that one of the common traits they possess is their passion and enthusiasm for what they do and what they believe in. So my hope is that I can continue to live my life in such a way that my passion and what I do, that my passion for life and what I do is evident and influential in the lives of other people. Again, I am grateful for being named a Fellow of Division 17. And as I close, I'd like to thank my immediate and extended family who traveled here today to be with me, Cheryl Howell and Daphne Smith. My mother had planned to be here but was unable to make the trip. And also would like to thank my colleagues, current colleagues from the University of Georgia, Linda Campbell, Andy Horn, others who were not able to be here, and those colleagues who are no longer at UGA. A special thank you to you. And certainly would have to acknowledge my current students at the University of Georgia and former students from the University of Georgia. Thank you for helping me be who I am.